Welcome to the Queen Amani Show, all the way from the Queen City. Here she is, Queen Amani.
Welcome to the Queen Amani TV show. Thank you for tuning in today. Oh, I have had such a great week. I hope that you have. And we have such an amazing show today coming up. You know, it's spring, summertime, and it is like one of my favorite seasons. I love when the weather is warm. Actually, I think summer is my favorite season, but spring going into summer is just beautiful, especially in Charlotte when you begin to see the beautiful trees bloom and the different colors coming out, and it is just amazing, except for the allergies part. I know a lot of people have allergies here in Charlotte. I know that I do, and that is I feel like the worst part of spring, summertime. But you know, other than that, it's just so beautiful. One of the things that I love is being able to put on my bright colors and being able to put on my shorts and, you know, my camis and, you know, those cute little romper outfits for the warm weather. So I absolutely love that, you know, and also being able to just get out in the city and doing certain things that you can't really do when it's cold. And I know one of the things that I've actually gotten to do recently is my family and we went to the Whitewater Center here in Charlotte. And I don't know if you have had the opportunity to visit the Whitewater Center, but it is just awesome. It is awesome. Now, I have been before in the past. I don't remember exactly when that was. I would say probably maybe a year ago. But I just went recently, and it was just gorgeous. I mean, I was looking around at the scenery and the beautiful tree line that they have built around the Whitewater Center, and it just really was breathtaking. As I looked around, I remember telling one of my family members, I feel like I'm in a mountain or something. Like, I don't feel like I'm still in Charlotte. This is just gorgeous. And so when we were there, we actually got a day pass, and the day pass included all of their activities, and they have different things that you can do, like the zip line, and well, the highlight for us was the whitewater rafting. But they have all these different things that you can do. They have a rock wall where you can climb the rock wall, and different things like the zip line and things like that. But when we were there, I did the zip line and the water rafting. And yes, it was an adventure, I have to tell you. So I went with my family, and they already knew with me going here, it was a part of me kind of facing my fears, because I like heights, but there are times where when I get really high up and I look out, I have a tendency to get very, very nervous. And my family knows this about me. But when you're at the Whitewater Center and you do these activities, for me, I feel as though it can kind of help you face those fears and that nervousness that you get if you're like me with heights. So we were on the zip line. I had got you have to climb up these steps, and they give you this harness, and they buckle you on to the zip line. And I remember like literally looking out like, OMG, oh my goodness, I am about to do this. And I just got such a rush. And I remember feeling like anything that you do that's big, and it takes a lot of you to do, it gives you that feeling like the butterflies in your stomach, and and then that nervousness comes on. I got up there, and I remember my son looking at me saying, "Mom, you can do this. you can do this. And I tell you what, if it hadn't been for my son or my husband, my family, I probably would have backed out. I'm going to tell you. It was gorgeous. I wanted to do it, but that nervous feeling just came over me, and I looked out and I'm like, oh, I just don't know. I don't know if I can do this, but just hearing my son say, Mom, you can do it. I knew that I had to do it for myself, and I wanted to show my son that, you know what, you can face your fears. You can, in life, when there's something that you want to do big enough, especially going after your dreams, like me right here with the Queen Amani TV show, sometimes it gets really big, and it takes a lot out of me to accomplish, the things that I want to on this show, and sometimes I get nervous. I really do. I get nervous, especially if, say for instance, I have a guest coming on and I'm excited about that guest coming on and everything. And as soon as I get into talking with them, that nervous feeling comes over me. I have to remember, like hearing my son say, Mom, you can do this. So, I was just thinking about that as I was standing on top of that high rise, about to zip across that zip line at the Whitewater Center, that, I can do this. And I want to imply the same thing to my TV show or any other thing that I'm going after, great in life, trying to make my dreams come true. So I got up there. They had me harnessed in. My son told me I can do it. And I just remember the guy saying, it's your turn. And there I went, zipping across. And, first off, it was just so beautiful. It was so, so beautiful. Just to be able to zip across, and look at the water, the people in the water rafting, and then you can see all the scenery around the Whitewater Center. It was just spectacular. I mean, just for that moment, to be up there on that zip line, to be able to just look around that, the Whitewater Center, to see how beautiful it is, it's just worth it, that very moment. And I would actually encourage you to visit, the Whitewater Center. It's a great place. And not only is it a great place, if you're like me and you're going after, things in life that are big, that are grand, to me, it gives me the perspective of, even though this is scary, doing the zip line and things like that, you can do it. You face that fear. And I left the Whitewater Center feeling like, wow, I did it. If I did that, then I know I can do this, So I zipped across there. It was just so beautiful. I remember when I got done, my son was there. He gave me a high five. And I just felt so great that I didn't chicken out and I didn't turn around when I kind of wanted to. I didn't let that nervousness take over. I just went for it and I did it, and it was really big. It was a pretty big deal for me. So, if you don't have a problem with heights or anything like that, you may have a different perspective from it, but for me, it was just really accomplishing that fear. So, we got through doing the zip line, and after that, my son, he went off to do the rock climbing wall, and for me, I have to work on my upper strength and my core. So I just decided, I'll wait and do that rock wall the next time. I don't think I was quite ready for that. But we did do the water rafting, and that for me was the highlight of the entire trip. It was just awesome. We got to raft with other people. Another family was in our raft when we went. And I believe we got to go around the rafting area like 3 or 4 times. And so when we started off kind of, let me just say this. When you're in the raft, there is a guide with you. So, and if there wasn't a guide, I don't think I would have been able to do it. no way. I mean, I am not like some kind of experienced rafter or anything like that. So I really have to know that I have someone in the raft with me that knows what they're doing and that can ensure that, you know, I'm safe. If I fall in the water, you're there to help me out and everything like that. So, you know, so they do have like this little class that you go through before you get on the raft, and they teach you everything that you need to know. And so there was a guide in the raft with us, and like I said, there was another family. And as we were going around the whitewater rafts, we started off kind of slow, and I think it was just to get everyone familiar with like being on the water and everything, and I'm really glad for my sake that we started off slow, just because rafting is, again, one of those things like facing a fear for me. I love water, but you talk about water that's rushing down rocks and turning corners and drops and this, I mean, that's on a whole nother level, you know? So, so for me, again, it's just facing a big fear. And I'm proud to say I did it. I'm so proud to say that. But so we were in the raft. We started off kind of slow, and it was so much fun. And every time we went around, each time it's like it got more intense. And you know, and I remember the guide saying, it's okay, some people may fall out, you know, of their raft, but we know what to do. We've already told you all what to do and everything. And I remember in my head saying, we're gonna stay in this raft. Like, I did not want to fall out. I wanted to have a good time, but I did not want to get my hair wet. I sure didn't. So I made sure I stayed in. But it was so much fun. You know, there were other people in their rafts while we were rafting, and I remember seeing other people like fall out of their rafts, and a couple people, like, when they fell out, they were like, I'm done. Like, just get me to safety. I'm good. I don't think I'm going back in that raft. And that was truly something to see. But then there were others like, wow, you know, I fell out of my raft, but I'm good. I want to go back at this. So it was just really, really interesting and really, really, really fun. And I can tell that not only was I facing my fears going on the raft, that there were other people out there facing their fears as well. And so for that, I absolutely love the rafting experience. I remember leaving saying, you know, this would be a really good team type of exercise, like for anyone that has to work as a team. And I will tell you why I feel it's such a good team exercise as soon as we come back for break. Welcome to the Queen Amani Show. Thank you for joining us here at the Queen Amani Show in the castle. You know, if you would like to come in the castle and share your story of the great things that you have going on, make sure you connect with us at queenamanitvshow@gmail.com. You can send us an email at thequeenamanitvshow@gmail.com, and also look for our Facebook page, Queen TV Show, at Facebook.com. And we also have an Instagram page, and that's the Queen TV Show. So make sure you follow us there at Facebook and Instagram, and also send us an email so you can be a guest here in the castle at the Queen Amani TV Show. And thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to the Queen Amani TV Show. I hope that you are enjoying the show today. I know I am, and I always enjoy being here in the castle, here in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina, in the Queen City, you know, and Charlotte is so beautiful, especially this time of the year. I was just saying today that I love the spring summertime. I've been able to get out and just looking around and looking at the beautiful flowers that's blooming, get different things. It is just gorgeous. And not only that, I love it when I can put on my different springy outfits with the bright colors and everything. I absolutely love it. So, just recently, I was talking about before we went to commercial break, that I recently went to the Whitewater Center here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's a place that you can go to do whitewater rafting and zip lining and different things like that. And they have some other different things that you can do as well as that. So my family and I, we went to the Whitewater Center, and I had such an amazing time. It was such a great experience. While I was there, I did do the zip line, and I talked about that, and I went whitewater rafting with my family. So I remember saying when we left the Whitewater Center, thinking to myself that, this is a great place to come as a team. If you work as a team in any type of environment, whether it's a sports team or, at work and you have to work on a team there, or in school and you have a class which is very similar to a team, any type of team, type of environment, even a church, if you're church staff or you're church members, I can see any type of team like that going to the Whitewater Center, because why I say that, when we were rafting, I remember the guide saying, you have to look out for everyone, the people that are in your raft and even people that aren't in your raft. You have to be observant. And why? It's because as you're, going down the rapids, there are times where you might hit a bump or hit something, and the raft will bounce someone out or flip over. And as soon as that happens, you're supposed to, if you're close to someone, you're supposed to help save them, help bring them back into the raft. And I thought that was awesome. I remember when we were rafting, I don't quite remember which round it was, because we went around like 4 different times, but on one of the rounds it got really intense, and I remember we hit some big bump, and like 4 people went flying out of the raft. It was my son, and there were like 3 other people from the other family that was in the raft with us, and I remember just like, oh my goodness, we gotta get them. And the first person that I seen that I could save was someone from the other family. I didn't know this person. They just were in our raft, and immediately you have to look out for each other. Doesn't matter if you don't know that person or not, you look out for them because they're in your raft. And so I saved him, and I remember seeing someone else grabbing my son and saving my son and pulling him back in the raft. For me, that was just awesome, because to me, I feel like it's such a parallel, like in life, right? You never know who may be there to help you out, like in life, so if you can help someone to help save them, or whether it's pulling them and putting them in the raft or helping them to do anything, it kind of comes back around, right? Someone will be there to help you. And so that's kind of like what I took from it. I was like, wow, I actually saved somebody. I mean, I was able to pull that guy, up out of the water. Now, I will admit, I couldn't necessarily lift him out the water. I'm not that strong. But I was able to actually pull his vest up, to the raft, and then the guide came over and actually helped lift him out of the water. Manpower, yeah, my muscles aren't that big. So yeah, the guide helped to pull him out, but it was just really awesome, just being able to know that I actually helped him. And then I think it was the last round that we went, down the rapids. I remember the guide saying, "Are you guys ready? Do you want intense? Do you want intense?" And I'm thinking, I think I want intense. It's already been kind of intense. Can I handle this intense? But yeah, it was good. So then we went around the fourth time, and we hit so many bumps, and the drops were so big. And I remember I didn't see my son like fly out the raft, but I remember just looking in the water and I'm like, holy cow, that's my son. And it's funny because my son was like, "Mom, I heard you say my son," and I went and I like yanked my son out of the water to get back into the raft. And I will say that I was so proud of my son. He's only 12 years old, and he actually was able to do all the rafting and everything. He had his own stick, and he was able to listen to the guide, and he followed directions just very, very well. Although he fell in the water twice, he did exactly what he's supposed to do. And I remember asking him when we were done, you know, what he thought about the experience, and he's like, "I loved it." And so it was just really good. We all enjoyed it, and again, I would encourage you, if you've never been to the Whitewater Center, to go out there. I think it would be a great place too for families. I remember saying to my husband that, you know, I would love for my grandparents to come out here. Now, I highly doubt that they would go water rafting or zip lining or anything like that, but just the ambiance of the place, I feel like a great place maybe to have lunch and have a picnic out there. And even if they're not, like, say, involved in the activities, they can just kind of relax and kind of hang out. Because for me, I feel like it's that kind of place. The environment's really nice. Oh, and they're dog friendly. I absolutely loved that, because I have 3 4-legged babies, and I love when I can take them places. You can't just go anywhere and take your 4-legged babies. You know what I mean? If you have them, so places that I can take them, I love it, because they're family, and I love when we can take a family trip and they can be included too. And and I seen a lot of people while I was there, out there with their babies too, just walking them around, and they actually had water bowls for them already sitting out, and I thought that was really nice to like accommodate your babies if you have them with you and everything. So it was just really, really nice, and I'm glad that I got to face my fears while I was out there. Again, when I went, I was very, very nervous, and during the event, I was still nervous. But just facing that, even though I was nervous, and there were times where I felt like I don't quite know if I'm ready to do this. I don't know if I want to do it. I wanted to back out, and I didn't. In the end, I was like really proud of myself for going through with it, for sticking in there, and it's like looking back on it, I'm like, wow, this was worth the nervous feeling. I mean, and I feel like I've accomplished something really big. And so what I took from it, the message for myself that I took from it, is that it's okay to feel nervous. It's okay to feel like something is like way big, way bigger than you. I mean, sometimes it just might be. I know for me, the zip line was way bigger than me. I know whitewater rafting was way bigger than me. Like, I really had never even had experience doing that. And so it was a pretty big deal for me to do it. But, after embracing it and embracing the nervousness and just kind of like sticking in there, I was proud I did it. And for me, that gives me more of a hope, even with the other things that I'm going after, like trying to make my dreams come true, having the Queen Amani TV show. I can't tell you that I don't get nervous doing this, because I do. It's really big, especially when I'm in the studio. It's different when I'm in the castle and I'm out, say in the fields, and I'm taping. It's a different feeling. For me, when I get in the studio, I think maybe because in that setting, the lights are really, really bright, especially if I have a guest. It can be a little intimidating type of feeling, but it's a good feeling, you know. It's just, I get that nervous feeling, but it's good, you know. So I'm just saying all this to say, it's okay to be nervous. Like, if you're going after your dreams, you're doing something really big, whatever it might be, if it's positive for you, or positive for the people around you, and you're having to do it or embrace it, embrace it. It's okay. It's okay to be nervous. Just hang in there. You'll get through it. And I can almost promise you that when you do get through it, you're going to be so proud that you did it. So, you know, stick in there. You know, I go through it too. So, and if I can do it, I know you can do it. You can definitely do it. And I would encourage you to, like, do some things like, i.e. the, you know, water rafting, or, you know, something on that level, something that gets you out of your comfort zone, you know, try something new, you know, something that you're not used to doing, and just do it. And it will, I can assure you that it will give you such a positive experience, and it will give you an extra boost of faith and hope and all those things that we need to go after bigger things in life. So, you know, yeah, go for it and try something new and let me know. Share it with me. I would love to hear what you decided to try new, or what you decided to embrace and go after, and what was your experience like, you know? Were you very nervous? Was it intimidating? Was it, you know, how was it? You know, and how did you get through it? How did you do? And how do you feel now that you did it? Because I know that you have to be proud of yourself for going after something bigger than yourself, and coming out in the end knowing that you did it. It's such a proud feeling, such a accomplishing type of feeling, and you know, and it gives you such a boost of like energy that, you know, it's like, now that you did that, you know, you can almost do anything that you put your mind to, and really that's what we want. That's exactly how we should feel, because we want to accomplish much. There are things that we're going after. I know it, you know. You all share them with me. I know that a lot of people here that tune in to the Queen Amani TV show, you have big dreams that you're going after. You know, I'm not the only dreamer. I know I'm not, you know, and I know that you're going after big things. And sometimes it takes doing some things while you're going after these big things to let you know that, you know, you can do it, you can get through it, even if you're nervous, even if it makes you a little uncomfortable, even if you feel like you can't. You can. So, you know, hang in there and keep doing these great things that you're doing. And thank you for tuning in to the Queen Amani TV show. We love you here. Tune in next week.